What's going on, guys, girls, people of the world? I'm here, and I'm just doing a short little review, as usual. I should really stop these, but they're fun to make. So right now, I'm reviewing Insurgency Sandstorm for the PlayStation 4. Now, Insurgency Sandstorm, honestly, at first, I felt like it was pretty boring, and I just didn't enjoy it, like, as much as I felt I should have. But then I started like to actually get into it and actually start to do, I guess, well and stuff, and it is so much more fun than COD and anything else. I felt like I found it boring because it's much slower, and I was trying to play it at a fast pace. And that's just not how you can really play it. I mean, you can play it like that, but you still have to take it slower than, let's say, COD or um, Splitgate or anything along those lines. Now, the game is fun. It's very fun. And the community is a little bit toxic, and it's fun because of that. But at the same time, they're very, you know, nice, and then they take the game pretty seriously too, I've found. And so overall, it's a good experience playing the game, and it's fun. But you know, sometimes it can really get killed by the toxicity, but that's usually just at the end. So that's really like the only negative thing I have about the gameplay. But I will say that the gameplay, or not the gameplay, um, the guns don't load in. Like gameplay wise, the guns just won't load in sometimes, and then it's like really tedious trying to get them to load in. And so sometimes you'll need to like edit your loadout and stuff, or other times you'll need to just look at the ground so everything stops loading in, and you don't have to, or your PlayStation doesn't have to render so much. Now I'm playing on the PlayStation 4. I'm sure this stuff doesn't happen on the PS5 if you guys are playing on that. Um, and then the other big issue that there is the game crashes a lot. I think I've been experiencing a lot less crashes because I think that they updated it and fixed it, but I'm not sure yet because they updated it like 2 days ago, and I've still crashed like twice. But really, that's the only issue that I have gameplay wise. Um, the modes, they're fun. They got domination. They got like some attack thing where the attackers start off with five waves of people, and basically the way that waves work are, um, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. There's waves of enemies that are coming in, and if you're in that wave, so three people will die, and then the next wave will spawn, and then you guys get to attack from there. And so it's really interesting, and I think that it gives the attackers and defenders ways to like regroup and recuperate and kind of plan stuff out a little more, even if there isn't communication. I feel like the players can all kind of, you know, they all kind of know what's going on, and they know where the last, enemy stronghold and stuff, I guess, is. So you guys can kind of um all come together as a team and then attack it at once. And so I just find that really cool, and I think that it's really well done. So I think that's a great part about it. And I also love that there's proximity chat, so you can talk with enemies and teammates. Um, and I think it's just a really good and cool feature. But you know, there's no negatives with that. You know, other than the fact that one time I was talking to an enemy and I thought he was a teammate, and we were like communicating with each other, saying that we should get certain floors, and then we ran into each other and killed each other, and so we didn't even realize that we were enemies. But that was just fun. Um, Gunplay. there's no aim assist. Let me just say that there's no aim assist at all. I think it works really well with this game. Um, really, the aim assist, or the lack of aim assist, it does take some time getting used to, and it's a lot harder to get used to than, let's say, you would have to in COD or something, because the guns have a lot of recoil, realistic recoil patterns from what I can tell. Um, they kick up a lot depending on what guns you're using. Like the MP5 won't kick as much, especially if you put the recoil grip on, but the AK will kick a lot even with the recoil grip, and it's very realistic. It feels smooth at the same time. Especially at range, you'll find that you miss a lot more shots if you don't take it slow. So, you know, and there's not a lot of long range maps. They're usually mid to close range, but on the long range maps, you can definitely tell a difference, and you definitely want to change your gun to single fire. But most of the time, I run full auto. And then with the guns customizations, there is so many customizations. Now it varies. They're all the same for each gun, but there's a lot. And the amount of things that you can put onto the gun varies with, what weapon you're actually using. So, let's say you're using a MP7, an SMG or something, you might not get as many attachments as you would on the M4A1, just because the M4 is a lot more customizable, and I think that they based it off real guns, so it runs a lot smoother and it feels more realistic knowing that you can't put a bunch of attachments on. Like with the grease gun, you can't put a lot of scopes on, and you can't have recoil grip and all sorts of stuff because it's realistic, I guess, or more realistic than you would expect. And in Call of Duty Vanguard and stuff, you can attach literally everything on every gun, and it's just like, wow. And so this feels a lot more realistic, and it makes you really think out how you want to play it and what guns you want to use and stuff. And so it feels very smooth and very nice. The maps, they're all pretty well done, I think. Some of the maps, I don't really enjoy as much as others, but that's just because that's just me, not being able to find where the enemies are and stuff. And really, that's really my only complaint with the maps. I mean, there's really no complaints. They're all very smooth. You can pretty much enter any building, and you can tell where enemies are for the most part, but you can also hold angles and make sure the enemies don't see you, and so it's very smooth. It feels natural and good. And then also with the maps, or not, yeah, with the maps, um, with domination especially on certain maps, the spawns are horrendous because it's not wave spawns like you're supposed to be playing with most of the modes in this game. Domination is the only mode where you can just respawn consistently, and so a lot of the time, the on most maps, the spawns just aren't consistent at all, and it's just random spawns basically. And so you can spawn right next to an enemy and then have an enemy spawn right behind you. And so it's not a huge deal, but and it's not frustrating, but it's just kind of stupid in my opinion. But you know, that's really about it. And honestly, I do suggest getting the game. It's a bunch of fun, and since they fixed a bunch of their issues, it's it's gonna be fun to see how it progresses with the PlayStation. I hope that I can get the PS5 soon, so I can play this game on PS5 and see, the graphical difference and the differences in how it runs. On PlayStation, there's times where you get horrible frame rate. Um, I think it runs at like a smooth 40 FPS, like just consistently. On Xbox One, I think that you get like 30 frames, and then that's not consistent. Most of the time it's pretty consistent on the PlayStation, but I'm not sure necessarily on the Xbox. I assume that it's gonna be the same or similar, but you never know. I've heard a lot of complaints that on the Xbox it doesn't work as well based off, other people's thoughts. But really, that's about it. You know, that's the end of what I gotta say. It's a fun game. It's really interesting to see how people play it out and see, you know, all the positive things that this game does. And I truly enjoy it more than any Call of Duty game in recent years. Maybe it's just because I'm a more realistic shooter type person. I always enjoy realistic shooters more. But, you know, that's really about it. That'll wrap it all up for today, guys. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. And I might be uploading an actual gameplay like tomorrow. So, peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one.